Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 96 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm recording in New Jersey.
And I am recording from my home in Scotland. Hi, everyone. Thanks
Hello,
for joining
everybody.
us.
Hi.
Whether you're audio or video, just to throw it out there again that we do a video version, so if you want to see our faces, just check us out on YouTube. And if you're listening to audio, if you're in the market for a new podcast app, you might want to check out Shuffle, because I've been leaving pictures of what we're talking about in the sort of comment area of each episode, which is kind of cool. And you can put in messages and comments.
As a listener, you can comment.
Yeah, as a listener, you can comment as well and have a chat with us. So just throw that at the top. And also, our thank yous. Will we do our thank yous? We've got a few thank yous today.
We have a few thank yous. You can do them, or I can do them.
I'll do one. We got an email from Emily a few weeks ago. I think I forgot to mention. She said thanks, and that we've inspired her to get out of her crochet rut and to try new patterns, including her first slouchy beanie. So well done on that, Emily. And thanks for saying hi. And I'm glad we could inspire you a bit.
Hi, Emily. We also have Mrs. Rosie on Ravelry, and she says she's on episode 8, and she's already been inspired by our episodes. And hashtag Casey ACY for life. I like that. Thank you. And lastly, Ziga commented on our the Ravelry episode thread, and I was talking about knitting in the round and how I was knitting my swatches, how the stitches were loose because I wasn't actually knitting in the round. I was knitting a row and then taking that yarn and bringing it over to the front. Mm-hmm. And she said that if you do the first and the last stitch twisted in through the back loop, which basically means twisted stitches, then it makes those locks the stitches in, and then it's not as loose. So thank you very much, Ziga, and that is a very handy tip.
It doesn't really mean, well, maybe it means a little bit to me because I found out I was twisting some of my stitches when I was trying to knit. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for all your comments. And actually, I almost jumped into it before. We're gonna do things a little bit differently on this episode. Normally, for returning listeners, you guys know that we do a Buzzfeed quiz at the very beginning, and we started doing the Buzzfeed quiz from the very first episode because we thought it was a cute way for listeners, new listeners, I mean all of our listeners were new at that point because it was the first episode, to get to know us. And we've just been doing it ever since because we just like to talk about silly quizzes. But I thought we're gonna try and sandwich them in between our whips and our FOs. So for those of you, and people have said they really like the BuzzFeed quiz, don't worry, it hasn't disappeared. We're just gonna get to it a little bit later.
Okay.
So we will jump right into crafty content.
So, speaking of whips, what you got?
I feel like I always go first. So, I am working on my Jade Dress still, but I don't know if you can tell from this handful of dress that I have.
Ooh,
there's quite a lot of it.
Looks like a dress.
Yeah. So this is the dress that I'm going to be wearing as the maid of honor to my sister's wedding in January. So it's the Jade Dress by Natasha Robarge, and I've done it in a rust colored linen. It's got the v-neck and the ruffle sleeves at the top, and then it keeps going to the waist and beyond.
Yay! So that kind of looks like a mini dress right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be not even quite a mini dress yet. Will I stand up and see?
Tunic.
Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna stand on the chair.
Oh, be careful. Oh, you're stuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like a tunic.
A tunic, yeah. I think it wouldn't quite cover my butt. So, yeah. You can see increases for the skirt. And hopefully, I'm hoping that it won't flare out too much, because it does go out a little bit, but it shouldn't be like a circle skirt or anything. I'm having to do the increases more regularly than in the pattern, because I'm using a much lighter weight yarn than what the pattern calls for. I think the pattern calls for maybe even a DK yarn, and I'm using like a
fingering,
a light fingering maybe. I don't know. So yeah, it's quite thin. So now that I'm at the skirt, from the waist down to the skirt, it's those alternating bands of just solid double crochet stitches, and then the pattern, the main pattern. So I'm doing, I think, probably one more repeat of this than in the pattern, but also I think the increases in the pattern, they say to do it, a row of increases either at the beginning or the end of each of the solid sections. But I'm actually doing one at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end of the solid section, as well as in the middle of the patterned section. So it's over twice as many increases.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it might end up being a little bit more flared than the actual pattern, but hopefully not too much.
So, I mean, if you stop doing increases at this point, because it is past your butt, is that what you're going to do?
No, I'm going to keep doing some increases, because I don't want it to be completely straight from there past my butt.
Okay.
I think width-wise, when I put it on, I still want it to be a little bit wider. Although now that you mention it.
So have you put it on?
I have put it on, yeah. And it works. Sorry. I'm going to sit down now so you can see my face.
Okay.
And I actually think I might have enough. Oh, sorry. I actually think I might have enough yarn. But because I was a little bit afraid that I might not.
Okay.
So I'm working on that. I have another whip, and it's a new one. So for the magazine, I'm doing the autumn winter 2021 cow. There's the magazine. So I am making the socks. So those are the Shepherdess socks by Elizabeth.
That Sam wore. Yeah,
that Sam modeled. And Elizabeth is Crochet Cakes. She does a podcast as well. So it's a slip stitch sock, and it's pretty easy to adapt. Like it's a fairly basic pattern. Like it doesn't have like a complicated stitch pattern on the foot or anything. So I didn't really bother swatching. I just figured I would, do it as I go. And I ended up like adding some extra increases to the toe because I have a wide foot. So I'm about halfway along the foot of the first one. So you can see the toe, and these are the slip stitches, and the slip stitch is really stretchy, so it looks a bit like that now, where you can see, because you do it into the back loop. So you can see the sort of ridges of the slip stitches, but once it stretches,
yeah,
it's really stretchy.
That looks
so good. You have to make sure not to make it too long. And
well, I mean, it's a sock, so it's good that it's stretchy.
Oh yeah. And I actually kind of like the wrong side as well.
Back. Oh yeah, that looks like
it almost looks like with
pearls.
Yeah, like pearls. Knit pearls.
Yeah, it does. Or a garter stitch. Pull it out again. Yeah, it looks like pearl stitches.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then the yarn I'm using,
that's kind of,
I bought ages ago because I just really liked it.
Was that the modem yarn?
Yeah, the modem from Retrosaria.
From Portugal.
Yeah. Rosa Pomar. Which is a Portuguese yarn brand, and it's a self-striping sock yarn, and this the ball band illustrations are always really super cute, and this one's got the ball band illustration of a skirt and a woman wearing socks and little shoes. So it's specifically for making socks, but I never actually thought I was going to use it to make socks, which is why I have 3 balls of it. And at least with the slip stitches, it's working pretty well in terms of, it's not stripy exactly, but it's not doing any like major color pooling.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of evenly distributed in random patterns, and it kind of got like a pink and a black and a blue and a gray section, but it's very not like it's like on a white base, and it's sort of modeled. Is that the right word? I don't know, but so each section is white, and it's like white and blue, white and pink, white and
it's like variegated.
Yeah. So yeah, working on that. That's my hashtag Moorit AW21Cal, and at the moment it's living in this teeny bag. This was my second bag purchased from So Yarnalicious. Yeah, it's got these like different hands sticking up with you can see like their patterned shirts and things.
Cool.
It's cute. Those are my whips.
I only have one whip, and it is the Vintersol sweater by, what's it by again?
Jennifer Steingas?
No, Caitlin Hunter, I think.
I'm just saying names of designers that you make a lot of things from, and it seemed.
No, I think you're right. It's Jennifer Steingas.
Oh my gosh, what?
You're right. So I am like probably 3/4 done with the yoke.
Nice.
Right now. And I'm hoping it fits my sister. I mean, right now it feels like it'll fit me, and she's a lot smaller than me. But I'm thinking once it's, once the sleeves are in, it'll need to go around this way.
Yeah.
Right. Lost my train of thought. So anyway, once I pick up for the sleeves, it'll bring it down a little bit, so it won't feel like it's so big.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, if it's a little bit oversized, like a
It's
little
better,
bit too big,
it's better
than
to
a little bit too
loose
small,
rather than too small.
Yeah. And I think you can see
now
now
my gauge is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I was gonna say I can see now that the pink is a little bit like a duskier pink, like it's not super bright on the top.
Isn't that super
bright? It's not too bright.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a muted, like a muted. Not even a fuchsia, muted fuchsia, maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
And but it's heathered, so it's not so bright. And then the purple is also not super bright.
Yeah,
it's a little bit. I mean, it's heathered as well. The only thing that's not heathered is the gray, light gray.
Yeah, we got an Instagram DM from a listener, Ijoma, who's also working on that, and her colors are like super bright, like
it's like
fiery,
bright, like red and orange.
Yeah,
and
it makes
like,
me think of fire.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pull off those colors, but it looked really good. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it, and my sister's pretty pleased with it so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll be able to at least be finished with the yoke by this weekend.
How did your swatch experiment go? Because last episode you talked about how you swatched in the round with 2 different size needles, and a lot of people were really impressed and thought you were an absolute genius for that. But did that work for you in the end?
It did work, except I had to do it again because I think my swatch was still too small. So working on the small circumference didn't translate to like this.
So when you did did you do a bigger one?
Yeah, I did a bigger one. I've already ripped it out.
But with both size needles again?
With different size needles, yeah.
And it worked out.
And it worked out better.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because you kind of hinted to me at some point that it didn't work or something wasn't working out.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
oh, no.
I was I only did just a few rows of this, like, oh no, this is not looking right, and so I swatched again with needles that I thought would be better. I actually had to go down 2 needle sizes for each side. So because I think it was an 8 and a 7, so I went down to a 6 and a 6 and a
8 and a 7.
So a 6 and a 7, I guess. And I ended up using the 6. No, a 6. I can't remember what I did, but whatever I did, it worked out. 8 and a 9. I had an 8 and a 9, and then it worked down to yeah. So So it worked out, and I think I'm using the size 6
So
needles.
as a technique, it works, but the same rules apply where you should probably make sure your swatch is big enough.
Yeah, because I only had like a little swatch, and yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, um, yeah, it worked out in the end, and yeah, I was pretty genius if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that, and we can do our BuzzFeed quiz now.
Yeah, because that's our whips. So I picked the BuzzFeed quiz today, and it says, everyone has a scent that perfectly matches their personality. Make some perfume to reveal yours.
And we've never done a scented quiz.
Based one, yeah. There were no questions about food on this one.
Well, there were some food in there.
Yeah, because food smells like things, but it wasn't, like, what do you want to eat for breakfast? What scent did you get?
Let's see. What scent? I've already forgotten. I got rain. It says, yes, the scent matches your personality is rain, calming and refreshing. You're a breath of fresh air for everyone in your life. Your friends know to come to you when they have a problem. They know you'll always offer a shoulder to cry on and a helping hand. The world will be a better place with more people like you.
I also got rain. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's well, the description is nice, and I actually do like the smell of rain, but not
Petrichor.
as a perfume. Is that the name of the smell?
Is that the name of like either like the way it smells when it's raining outside, I think, or
Say that again.
Petrichor, Petricor.
I don't know. I didn't know there was a name for that.
It is a pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but
what does it? Does it say exactly what we're smelling? Does it say in your description exactly what it is that's making that smell?
I don't know. Wikipedia says petrichor is the earthy scent produced when rain falls on dry soil. So maybe it's just the smell of damp earth, kind of.
Smelling dirt. Okay.
Anyway, I'm actually wearing a little bit of perfume, which I almost never do. I bought some from Lush. So okay, I'm gonna skip the first one because that's the bottle. But what scent did you pick for your top note? From vanilla, rose, pine, and jasmine. I think I can guess which one you picked.
Jasmine.
I picked jasmine too. Because jasmine makes me think of like the jasmine plants I used to keep. So I would say if somebody asked me what's your favorite like flower, like smell, I would either pick lavender or jasmine.
But lavender wasn't in here.
No.
Not in the first question.
But in the second question, the other scent, the options were linen, cinnamon, lemon, and lavender. And yeah, I picked lavender, and I think you also picked lavender.
I did too.
I can start to see why we both got rain. And what about your last one between orange, sandalwood, peppermint, and lemongrass?
I picked sandalwood.
I picked peppermint.
Because it reminds me of my grandmother. She always had sandalwood stuff lying around. She actually had a real sandalwood fan. Like it wasn't like a fake sandalwood fan that was scented. It was real sandalwood. I don't know where it is anymore.
And then your final scent, sea breeze, apple, coconut, or wood?
I picked wood.
I also picked wood. So we only had one different like scent chosen. And I mean, I think, the jasmine, I knew we probably were going to pick the same thing, and then lavender as well, because, I mean, you've always, like, I think we all know that you like lavender. Madeline has a tattoo of lavender, partly because you love lavender, and I use the Lush Sleepy lotion, which is lavender, and you sometimes say when you use it, it makes you think of me, because I use it so much.
Yeah. But then, like, the scents that we picked, it didn't necessarily, like, match, like, the names, the signature, name your signature
Oh
scent. At
yeah.
least it didn't for me.
So La Vie Belle, Morning Mist, Beach Bliss, Dazzling Dreams.
I picked Beach Bliss because I like the blue chairs.
No, based off the
No.
pictures. Based off of the name though.
Maybe La Vie Belle. I would have picked, or Dazzling Dreams. I don't know. I have no idea. Morning Mist. I like them all actually.
Yeah,
All the names.
I picked Morning Mist because I liked it as a name, and I think it could. I'm trying to think if it could work as a name for the things that I picked. I mean, I don't know that peppermint. Anyway, I'm sure Morning Mist. My choice of Morning Mist contributed to getting rain as a smell.
To the getting rain. I don't know what. The which bottle did you pick?
I picked the curvy bottle.
The curvy yellow one or the curvy
The last one.
orange with the book? I picked the one with the book. That looked like an ink bottle.
Yeah, I don't know if that would that actually work because it's got like
the.
it's got like a stopper. It's not actually like a spray.
I just like the bottle.
Yeah. You're allowed.
Yes, of course I'm allowed.
Cool. This is weird. We're gonna jump into FOs.
Do you have?
I don't even have any FOs.
I do. I finished my Spector sweater by Pohi Locatelli. I mean, I was practically done last time.
Yeah. Is it blocked and everything?
It is not blocked because I don't really have anywhere to block it here.
Oh, okay. So once you're moved in and settled in, in another 3 or 4 months, you're gonna have to block that, and then also show pictures of the blocked wedding shawl.
Well, I mean, I could block it here, but it's just I don't have any because usually when I block it at home, I put it in a spare room, close the door so the cats can't get to it. So there are no spare rooms in here.
Yeah.
Because all the rooms are being used. And I sleep in the living room. So there's no door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. But it looks good in the picture anyway. It looks better in the picture than it does in real life at this point. I don't know why. Because you can't see all the wrinkliness of the curly yarn. But yeah, here's the sleeve.
Sorry.
Blue in the end.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really good fade. 1, 2,
Thanks.
3, 4 colors in the end.
Yep, 4 colors in the end. The two top colors are very similar. So
Yeah, I think because the 2 top colors are very similar, you've got like that sort of aquamarine colors. That's practically like half the sweater, so it definitely reads as a sort of aquamarine colored sweater, and then with like the accent of the pinks and the purples and the darker blue at the bottom.
yeah. So super pleased with this. I mean, I suppose I could always just, weave in the ends and then block, because I don't think I'll be ripping anything out. But the minute I weave in the ends before I block is the minute that I'm going to be ripping something out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it might block longer.
I was trying to think if you could have like a system of how you weave in the ends where
What do you mean?
it's easy to frog. Like if you think about it through your whole making process. Because I was just thinking like, sometimes you make a sweater and you wear it for a couple years and then you're like, actually I don't like this sweater. But it seemed like a waste of yarn. Like, what are you going to do with this yarn? And I was just thinking, if you could just frog all of that and then make something else with it, but then you have to, it's always so hard to find ends to frog.
Yeah. Especially with crochet, because it's harder to find where the end is. Unless you know exactly where you ended it.
I guess.
Right? I don't know. I'd have to, you know what? I can just look at the pictures and see where the ends were. And then go from there. And then you'd have to.
But knock on wood, you're not going to have to frog that. It's fine.
I mean,
you're going to love it forever.
This did come from a frogged piece.
That's true. That used to be your find your fade shawl.
Yeah, but I never wove the ends in, so that's why it was very easy to.
So did you just not like it because it was too big? The shawl?
Yeah, it was just too big and it was impossible to wear. I mean, I even brought it to my knitting group, and they're like wrapping it around all different ways. We can fix it, and they're like, nope, nope, nope. For somebody that's maybe a half a foot taller, maybe, but for me, it just looked ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm never gonna wear it. I love all the colors. I'm just gonna rip it out, and everybody's like,
But now you have an awesome sweater.
yeah, and I'm super happy with my awesome sweater. That's
Good.
all the crafty content I have right now. I mean, it's which is very unusual. I only have one whip. When do I ever have one whip?
Yeah, not very often.
No, when I'm furiously working on a sweater so I can finish as much as I can before I leave, so I can actually try it on my sister. That's when I only have one one whip. I'm not even working on the sock, like my purse socks.
So are you actually going to try and finish it before you leave?
No. I just want to get the yoke and then the sleeves started.
Yeah, okay.
So I can
get an idea of how.
But what happens if it doesn't work? It doesn't fit. Am I going to rip it out and start over again? I don't know. Maybe I was like, screw it. I'll just make this for myself and I'll make you a different one. I don't know. We'll see. So you got any yarny bits and bobs?
No, I don't think so.
No bobbings.
No yarny bits or yarny bobs.
So the yarn store that's close to here has closed. They've gone to online only, so I haven't visited any. And that was the closest. The next close one is like all the way at the beach, and I don't want it. I haven't really done anything other than knitting and keeping my sister company and cooking.
Yeah.
So yeah, not much of adventuring for me. Though next time we record, we're gonna be together. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Ooh.
We're gonna record before then.
The next time
It'll be too late. We probably won't be together. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting, but I will definitely be in a different place. Tune in next time to see where I'm going.
I actually, on the YouTube channel, on like our YouTube channel, I created a playlist of videos where we're together. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, in the same room together. So,
okay, nice.
In case anybody wants to watch those ones specifically, it's there as a YouTube playlist.
Yeah, there's definitely less editing when the two of us are together, because I don't know, do we not make mistakes or we just leave them in?
No, because if you have to edit something out, you only have to edit out of one video instead of out of two videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to, sync it so that we're actually talking to each other.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I don't think I have anything else other than to say I'm darning socks with my mushroom.
Oh, nice.
Thingy.
Nice.
Darning mushroom. That's what it's called. Darning mushroom.
You can't be forgetting words. You're too young for that.
I could remember the words. I just couldn't remember which order they went in. It's like mushroom darner. Darning mushroom. Actually Sam socks. So I've been working on that. Yeah. But it took me like 45 minutes
like
to do a
store-bought?
I just store-bought socks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he does have at least one pair of hand-knitted socks.
Yeah, those ones are in okay. He hasn't really started wearing them yet because it hasn't really gotten cold enough for him. Whereas I wear my hand-knit socks in the house like all year round pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah, I've just been doing the store-bought socks because like they're fine other than the fact that because they can, and they're fine other than the fact that there's a big hole in the heel. Like the rest of the sock's fine.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, that's all I got.
All right. Okay, that's all I got too. So you should do your spiel, our spiel.
Okay, yeah. So you can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can watch the podcast on YouTube. You can also subscribe on the Shuffle app or your other favorite podcast streaming app. And you can also join the Ravelry group if you'd like. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the groups tab. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.